Mars! Mars! Forward! Mars!
Yeah.
Am I going to embarrass myself if I try it live on air?
You can do it.
Can I say,
give me a good sigh?
I wet my pants?
Yeah.
DJ!
Double
Maxx gon' give it to you. At the door, at the door. Creature of the night.
Thank you. It's a new one. It's a good one. It's
Thank
a new
you.
and a good one.
It's semi-new. It's new this year.
That's new.
Yeah, it's new enough.
In the fate of the universe. Like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
a year? It's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
passing of an ant.
Yeah. Everything's happening fast.
I was putting on the album as I was driving here and like, it's just so heavy. It gave me a gravitational field. So crashing into things. Like they were being pulled towards me.
Mad.
How much can I sue you for that?
Dude, you can't sue me for anything. I've got nothing of value to you. I promise you that.
Not even the album?
No, not even the album.
Damn, that's a shame.
I mean, you can have the physical tracks, but I don't know if that's gonna do anything for you.
Dude,
Yeah.
mail me a copy.
All right,
It's
done.
it's a great album.
I'll find a physical that doesn't exist somewhere.
You were just saying how you don't even have your own songs on your computer.
Yeah, legit.
So it might take a while.
It might be a
Everything's in the
minute. I
cloud.
have to ask my other dudes in the band.
Everything's on the cloud.
It's all in the cloud now.
That's the annoying thing with, I'm filming this right now. X2X Studios, like and subscribe. I'm filming this and data transfer is so annoying.
Yeah, bro.
Like, how do you Dropbox an hour-long video?
Dude, it's hard. The other day, we got filmed when we played that festival, and
I haven't said that, man. Yeah.
yeah, oh, that's alright. Well, I didn't want to give anything away if you had a plan, but yeah, I got a dude to like film us at the festival, and I was going to edit it, and like the downloading of it took forever. So I was like, bro, you just edit it.
I had to pay $15 the other day to get someone to physically give me the thing on the USB for footage. It's crazy. Why are we talking about footage? You're a musician. But you're also a videographer.
Apparently, yeah.
Which is relevant.
Yeah. In this day and age, it is.
I'm not really running a tech show though.
No.
There is a good tech show on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't remember what time he's on. Anyway, let's talk about you.
Right.
Not Frankie's.
What do you want to know?
Not Ange. I want to know about this new album. I want to know where it's coming from. Where are you drawing this energy from?
Like new stuff we're doing, or like the stuff we've released this year?
The stuff you've released this year.
Okay, so at the beginning of the year we released like a 6 or 7 track EP, pretty close to an album, and then we did a cover, and then we released a single maybe like 3 months ago. So things are moving pretty fast. Like,
You've been busy.
Yeah, we've kind of been pretty busy since we started, because we started in the studio. Like we didn't, like a lot of bands normally start like, with the intention of jumping into shows and stuff, but like it was just me and the guitarist, and we just wanted to go write some music and record it, and so we got like a friend to like do the drums in the studio, and then so like it's always been, the focus has been on like recording. So I think naturally we've just pumped out a lot of music. We haven't forced it. It's kind of like if we're doing shows, it's to kind of bring us back to the studio at some point.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, I think you can actually hear that to an extent as well, especially on Rapture, your new track. There's elements of industrial like sounds in there. It's
pretty spot on. That's what a lot of people said when we were writing it, like friends that know the band and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. How are you leaning it? How are you utilizing studio tech?
I think, I can't speak too much. Like, I don't know a lot of the lingo that they do on the computer and like, the production side of things, but more or less. Pardon?
The tippy tappies.
The tippy tappies. Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs too much, but I guess more or less like, we wanted to focus on stripping things back a little and like trying different elements. Like we did a couple like electronic bits like in the last EP that we released at the beginning of the year, but we wanted to just kind of like strip the song back a bit and just chuck in like some different sounds, and so that's kind of where like that electronic, almost like Marilyn Manson style. Some parts are like
you've got that underlying like it's a metalcore song.
Yeah,
there's so much oomph to it.
Yeah.
So I was trying to plan the playlist out for today. I'm like, bit industrial, but I can't play 9 Inch Nails after a tea track.
Yeah.
I gotta go to something like Meshuggah or...
Yeah. It's kind of like, I guess, kind of halfway between those two, maybe.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Are there any more bands that you know of in Sydney kind of doing your thing?
I don't know, like, Rapture-wise, I couldn't really say. I think, like, North Lane just released that album, and that's very, like, it's more like dance electronic, whereas, like, I guess, like, the Rapture sound is kind of, like, more industrial. I don't really know, like, I mean, I can't say. I'm sure there is some bands that are trying stuff like that. Maybe not in Sydney, though. No. Sydney scene's pretty small these days.
Oh, but, I mean, from me, who's obviously a smaller perspective on the outside, there's a great amount of variety.
Good bands, though, yeah,
there are some great bands in Sydney. I've talked to bands all over Australia at this point. Yeah. Not trying to flex, but...
That's all right. Flex away, man.
Not trying to
away.
Flex. But, Sydney, there's a lot of pop punk coming up, and there's a lot of very new sounding bands, but there's some good stuff in there. Yeah,
absolutely. I guess more or less, like, even just 5 years ago, there was probably, I reckon, 3 times the amount of metalcore bands. In the last 5 years, like, the local scene's really, really died off. So naturally, the amount of, like, bands per genre, I mean, I can't really speak too much like pop punk, the local scene for that, but like for metalcore, there really isn't like much of a local metalcore scene anymore. It's kind of like bands kind of shoot off into like playing with the bigger bands like pretty quick, or they don't really get that far. There isn't a lot of room for bands to just play a show these days.
There's like a musical assassin picking them off?
I don't want to name any names.
Oh.
Nah, I don't know. I think people are a bit more concerned with like staying home, saving money maybe. Right. Like, there's more things you can do at home now. You can watch Netflix on a Friday night after a long week at work. Or you can like play a video game.
That being said, there's nothing... Once you're out there, like I've been in that situation where, you don't exactly feel like going out. I like going out. Yeah. But some days you just... everybody sucks. I want to go outside. Yeah. But once you get in the pit and you feel that energy, if it's a good band, and most bands I see in Sydney are good bands. I've seen maybe 2 that I can honestly say I didn't like. It takes over you.
100%.
You get primal. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to like, rep Sydney super hard, but like we've produced some of like the biggest bands like in the genre in the country, like Polaris, Bad as Murder, North Lane. Like those 3 bands, they're like staples in like Australian heavy music. Like in New South Wales alone, it's responsible for Parkway Drive and In Heart's Wake, which is wild to think that like the Sydney scene is so small now, considering how big like some of the names that like Western Sydney, like Blacktown, where we are right now, is produced. Yeah. Like Blacktown Masonic Hall was like a breeding ground for so many big bands, and like Blacktown, like all like Penrith, like all of those places. When I started going to shows, like when I was like 17, 18, there was a youth centre every weekend all around like Sydney with shows. I mean, things happen in 10 years, obviously, but I don't really know where we're going with that. But
I think culturally, we may have taken a step back for a moment, but I think we're getting back there. Like I've talked with people in the last week. Yeah. There's this great website I've been connected with, which I actually just did some writing for. Yeah. I'm going to start transcribing interviews like this for them. Oh, cool. Called Metal Sydney Metal. Right. Okay. And their aim is to. This isn't sponsored or anything. I wish. But their aim is to just kind of bring that scene back. And nurture it. They're doing like meetups and stuff at gigs and cool. So, I mean, even Crowbar just opened up this year. And massive. You've seen who's been at Crowbar this year. Yeah. It has been the place.
I was chatting with one of my friends the other day who goes to like heaps of different metal shows. Doesn't matter what it is, he just loves any kind of metal. And he brought it to my attention, like, he was like, man, there's been some really good shows at Crowbar this year. And I was like, dude, there really has. Like, there's been some insane shows there.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And also, now they've got the free room as well.
The free room?
So you can, like, they've got the front bar. They don't have bands play. They don't charge entry.
Yes. Headstrong just played there, like, last week.
Yep. Yeah. It's sick. Like you can go on a Friday night if there's bands playing, Sunday afternoon there's bands playing. You can go drink some beers, get some food, see some bands, like just hang out. And that's
where it's at.
yeah, well that's good for like building the scene back up and boosting that stuff. So
Yeah.
shout out to Crowbar Sydney.
Shout out to Crowbar. Sponsor me, please.
Yeah.
So, Eyeless by Slipknot, and before that, Demiurge. Sorry, it wasn't Bleed.
That's alright. I forgive you.
Black Cloaks Bleed.
Apparently, I don't like to bleed. I like the song Bleed.
Do your teeth ever bleed when you don't brush them for enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's called gingivitis.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it sound like it's a bad thing.
Yeah. I think it is a bad
I
thing.
think it's only ever happened to me like twice, but teeth. We were talking about something before.
Yeah. What was
We were
that?
talking about overproduced music.
Yeah.
We were talking about how I was complimenting Meshuggah's live album, and I was saying how live music can be really good, but sometimes, you know, it gets butchered in the recording. And then we were talking about how you like Killswitch Engage, and I was saying I can't really get into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a problem with modern metal where it's just so overproduced, and you lose a lot of the finesse, the energy, the rawness. Metal should be raw.
I think you're right in saying that. So it's kind of a hard one because a lot of like some genres of metal have to sound like really precise, and like the guitars have to be tracked like so well, and like everything has to be really, really, really tight and done so it sounds good, like certain things.
Yeah.
But then there are some genres of metal, or like sometimes like a band will go and do that genre of metal and just like they'll record it live and then it just sounds so insanely good. One of my favorite records was recorded live. It's by Suicide Silence, The Cleansing. It's their first record, and it's probably their biggest one to date, I'm pretty sure. And that was all recorded live. And it sounds so damn good, and it's so like, yeah, it's so authentic.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think that, you know, like, you're a perfect example because I do really like your new album. But as you said yourself, it's a studio album.
Yeah.
You still get, like, it's good in the fact that you've actually taken the energy because you're natural in a studio environment. I feel like some bands are, as you put it, you know, they're on the stage and they're looking to get into a studio.
Yeah.
And they kind of compress themselves, both literally and in a metaphorical sense.
Yeah.
They compress themselves so it's all gone. They squeeze all the real juice out of it.
I think the problem, like what the reason why that happens is there can be so much pressure to perform in the studio. Like if you're working with like, you know, like a really well-known producer, you might be really anxious about recording. You might not go in with like being as comfortable as you could be on stage. Like, so I think it's kind of like with the whole studio thing for younger bands, it's really important to find someone that you're comfortable to like work with, that you get along well with, almost like a friend. Like obviously there's work to be done, but I mean that's what kind of works for us. Is like the guy that we record with, he's our mate now. And going into the studio, it's like, yeah, there's work to be done and we've got things to do, but at the end of the day, it's just me and him hanging out in like his brother's room with like speakers anyone could buy, a laptop, and we're just talking smack and just like I'm just making noise, and then we just have fun with it, and like that's where it becomes more natural.
That definitely comes through. You listen to some bands, and especially when you know the history and they don't like each other, and you can hear
that comes out on the album.
Yeah, and even, you know, people often overlook producers, but you've got to take all the parts to a song to make it.
Yeah.
A song can be written really, really well, and that's why covers are interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really like covers that sound the exact same as, you know, the original, because I'll just listen to the original.
Yeah.
I like covers that take the same song and produce it a different way, or play it like in a different timing, or anything small like that.
Yeah.
Which doesn't always come down to the musician playing it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's the same song.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
Speaking of live music, transition time.
Yeah.
Where were you recently?
Recently? Dapto. Legit, on Friday. We played Dapto on Friday. But before that, we played Good Things.
That's the one I was getting
In
at.
Sydney,
Yeah. Good Things. That sounds like a good thing.
It was a very good thing.
What's it like running around at a festival?
It's insane. Yeah.
Was this your first one?
Like for Teeth to play? Yeah, definitely. It was the first like taste of a festival we had. Pretty much for some of us, like, yeah, I don't think anyone in the band had played like an outdoor festival before. I don't think anyone had done anything that big that's in the band. So
That's crazy.
yeah, it was pretty nuts, man. The whole experience, like, feels like just like yesterday. I was like, "Hey guys, share this thing to vote for us for the competition," and then next thing you know, we like got announced on the showcase, and then the showcase happened, and then we got it, and we're like, "Oh my god, we're doing this thing! What the hell?"
Were you stressed out?
Leading up to it a little, because we were like, it was once we got the spot, we were like, all right, a lot of bands would kill to be here right now. Like, we're pretty chill dudes, but we can come back to that. Right now, we need to practice all week, and we need to like bring our A game, and we need to be professional because there are so many bands who kill for this position, and we need to do them justice. We need to do it for them. We need to do it for everyone that was involved. Like,
that's awesome.
So yeah,
sounds like you really respect.
Yeah, all the bands that we played with on the showcase, like, they brought their A game. There was no one messing about, and they were all super humble, and everyone was like a good sport. And yeah, so a bit stressful, but it was worth it, I think.
You meet some cool bands down there.
At Good Things.
Good Things.
It didn't really. I met some of the people that are on our stage, like some of the more like Australian local bands, like some of the guys in some of the bands we met before, and other bands we played with, like Gravemind, they were really nice dudes, and like yours truly, they were headlining the stage, and the guys in Wind Waker, like, we know some of those dudes from running around Australia, so
just jogging around.
Yeah, just jogging
Jogging around the spot.
Yeah,
kicking up the dirt.
Yeah. No, it was cool, man. Like, it was just such a weird experience, like, you know, rocking up there and doing it. Like, going from just playing, like, you know, regular shows and then doing, like, stuff that big, you just, like, it's just such a game changer. It's so different. And, yeah, it's, like, a whole different, like, set of lingo as well.
Yeah.
Look at these terms going around in emails, and we're like, oh, my God, we don't know what to say. Like,
how professional.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
no,
Well,
it was a good thing.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I would say the EP meant a lot to me because, like, it was because it's such a long thing to do. It's like, you from when you start it to when you finish it, like an EP or an album, no matter who your band is, like, it's a long process, and like, you've got life happening in between it, and it's just like, yeah, I think that's a really cool thing to be proud of, is like that process. Yeah, I'm proud of what we've made. What we do is, like, it's really exciting, and we're really lucky to do what we do. But I guess more or less, like, yeah, I'd say I'm more proud that, like, we have a good like functioning dynamic with our band. Like, we achieve what we want to achieve, and the process of doing it is like comes really natural. It doesn't feel forced or anything like that. Like, it just comes out how it should come out. Like, we just have fun and making music. So
and it comes out as good music.
Yeah.
People
there you go.
Where's the piece of paper? We gotta write this down.
Right?
Chill out. Everyone needs to chill out a bit, eh?
Apparently.
Actually, that's something I'm interested about.
Yeah.
Your demeanor, it's so chill. Look at you. Slouching on back, make some white, curl jacket.
So it's the no caffeine thing, like I was saying before. It's the no caffeine.
How do we get from this bloke to on stage rar? If you're not using caffeine, that is.
If I'm not using caffeine, I don't know. Well, all the things I write about are about pretty tragic things. So I guess when I'm playing a show, I just kind of try to get into the vibe of, like, why am I even making those songs? Like, if I'm going to write an angry song, or if I'm going to write a song about something terrible that's happened in my life, I can't get up on stage and just be like, hey guys, what's up? Like, and be all happy. It's like, I'm singing about some pretty, like, heavy things, like, heavy, you know, like, in terms of lyrics. So, yeah, when I'm going to get up on stage, of course, like, it's going to come out that way. It's going to replicate what it is.
How does it affect your mind when you're putting yourself willingly into those thought processes?
For lyrics, or
just reliving those experiences in order to get the lyrics and the energy behind it?
Yeah, it's good. I think I wish more people could find a way to have an outlet in that means. And a lot of bands say that, like, it's their outlet, but I'm different, man. No, I think, like, yeah, I guess, yeah, when I'm singing those songs, like, yeah, it's the idea of the song from when I first wrote the concept for what the song's about, why I wrote it in the first place, doesn't leave. Like, even the first songs that we wrote at this event, I always remember when I'm playing those songs, I'm like, when I'm singing the lyrics, I'm like, I'm remembering exactly why. And like, it's kind of interesting because I'm like almost like writing more to the song in my head. I'm like developing like the story, like I'm realizing more about that situation in my life as well. Like, it's carrying on. Like,
going full simulation mode,
Yeah.
just kind of reliving it.
pretty much.
We're
Pretty close to the Matrix. It's
That's why
scaring me.
That's why you mellow out. You just gotta
Yeah.
meditate to be one with the force.
I never used to be, I guess, if you think I'm chill, I never used to be like this. I used to be pretty full on. Because,
Well,
like,
I've known you for approximately 40 minutes. And
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
been pretty
that's-
chill for that 40
yeah,
minutes.
fair enough.
I wanna put you on the spot here.
Let's do it.
Every band I've had in has given me a live performance.
Okay.
I wanna hear you go from talking like this
Yeah.
to I wanna hear your singing voice.
Singing voice.
Mm.
Okay.
You know what I mean. You know what I want.
You want me to scream?
I want a dinosaur in the studio.
Okay.
I want to blow these mics out till that red is popped off and we get a nice breeze going in the studio because
Okay.
the air conditioning is broken.
Alright. What do you want?
Scream the phrase Mars bars for hard R's.
Mars bars for hard R's.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
made that up in my head.
Alright, cool. Because you said acoustic instruments, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, you know,
No.
it's acoustic room. Play the room.
Mars bars for hard R's.
You might want to step back from the mic.
Okay.
Mars bars forward roars.
You went kind of Scooby Doo at the end there.
You know what's funny? That just reminded me when I went for a job interview for like one of those juice chains. I think it was Top Juice or something. They found out I was in a band. They asked me like what metal band I was in, and they made me scream in front of like 20 people at an interview.
Well, that's nothing. You're
It
a
was-
performer. You meant
Oh, it was hilarious.
Thousands
It was
of
hilarious. I was like, dude, this definitely got me the job. No chance.
Where's it? How do you shape your throat? How do you do it?
I don't know.
Because that's one of the things I've always wanted to try and practice, but
Yeah.
you can't just like walk around your house going, "Ah!" You know. It's,
You'd be surprised. Ask my mom and dad. I definitely did it for years.
I can't, man. I'm too anxious. I can't practice screaming. What do I?
No, I don't know. You just like it's kind of like it starts with like a real angry sigh noise.
A sigh.
Like, like, I wet my pants. You know, yeah. It's
Am I going to embarrass myself if I
You
try
can
it
do it.
live on you?
you can do it.
Can I say
Give me a good sigh.
I wet my pants?
Yeah.
I wet
Yeah.
my pants.
Nailed it. You should join. You want to join my band?
Hell yeah! You know
Done.
I do,
Sorted.
mate. I'm looking for it.
That's all it is. Man.
And unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. Are you sad, Blake?
Very sad.
How sad? Prove to me that you're sad. Cry a little bit.
I'm almost as sad as the McDonald's that I ate on the way here. It's a very sad
McDonald's
hash
is always
brown.
sad.
Yeah, McDonald's is sad.
Do you want to quickly plug your show before?
Yeah, we got a show coming up. It's our first show for 2020. It's at Crowbar, Sydney. We're straight from the path, and Kublai Khan and Deadlights.
Can people get tickets yet?
Tickets, yeah, just go to destroyerlines.com.au.
I'll be hoping to come along.
Yeah.
And yeah, this has been Double X After Dark. You know me. I'm Double X on air on Instagram and the other one, and YouTube X-Week Studios. And this will be podcasted
Delicious.
very soon. Very delicious. More delicious than a hash brown. Good night.
Good hustle, man.
Thanks, brother.